Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Eden and 2020 is coming to a close. We have one day left. Welcome 2021. It is that time of year again where I reflect upon all that a year has been. And I think more people are either avoiding or doing more of this year because 2020 has been quite a year with the COVID-19 pandemic and a big shift worldwide in how we go about our day-to-day lives. So I've tried to collect my notes from the beginning of the year until now and what this year has brought, because it's been a lot. It started out very strong in January. Life was normal. A highlight in January, I got together with some college friends. We had a fun weekend together because Katie, one of my college roommates, was home after an internship in North Carolina. So we went to the ice sculptures and we had a night out on the town and just good memories, finally reunited, spending time together. And I miss that these days. February came and went. One of the highlights of February was that I was able to attend the state gymnastics meet because my old high school team had qualified and they ended up taking second place. So it was very fun. I still dearly miss gymnastics and love being involved. I was also able to attend my brother's state swim meet. He qualified as well as his team, and they took third place, which was huge. It was the first time they have medaled in a long while, if not ever. Anyway, it was exciting. My whole family was able to go and watch and cheer on my brother. March also, the beginning anyway, was busy as I was in a production of The Hunchback of Notre Dame and we performed. It was through Theater 301. I was a singing monk in the chorus and we had started rehearsals in January. I met a whole new group of people. We had a great time rehearsing together and making beautiful music. I admit, I think this was some of the most challenging music I had sung. It was almost all in Latin. I had never, I'm a soprano one, but I had never sang quite that high. And it was just really great to be singing and to be interacting with people, and then we performed. At the same time, I was also choreographing once again for Spring Into Dance as an alumni choreographer for Concordia St. Paul's annual dance production. And so I had a piece again. It was a contemporary one. I had 5 lovely dancers and enjoyed going to campus to conduct rehearsals. And then in the middle of March, COVID hit and we all weren't really sure what that meant. My boss at work saying, okay, well, we'll be gone for about 2 weeks, pack your things. For now, we'll work from home. So that was crazy. But actually before that, I got a call from the production manager for Spring Into Dance saying that the college was sending all their students home for the rest of the semester and the production would not get a performance. And so they were going to do a spontaneous sprance that very night. So I got in my car, I drove into St. Paul, and it was quite a night with all of these students being very emotional. I mean, I would have been a wreck if it were my senior year for sure. So I was there with my friends to kind of enjoy the last moments that they had on campus because a lot of them were graduating in the spring and saying goodbye to each other. And it really is just an unfair situation that hit, but everyone was in the same boat. We performed, we made memories, and we the last hurrah together before almost everything shut down. That did not stop Hunchback from having one final performance. We were the only production in the whole Twin Cities area that did not close down. Thinking back on it, maybe not the best idea, but we didn't really know what it was all about yet, and we did perform. And then we canceled our last 2 shows the following days. So that was a blur. We had to all close down and then say goodbye without really that closure that so many people did not get throughout the whole year of 2020. So then I was working from home and I was living by myself and it was going all right. I learned early on that I needed to have my workspace. I couldn't just work in bed because I needed to have a little bit of separation or I was gonna go crazy. It was really hard. I learned to stop working when you don't have a change of location or a reason to stop working. I didn't have anywhere to go or people to see as I was just alone in my apartment. And so I admit I overworked myself quite a bit throughout the spring. Maybe not the healthiest tendencies, but I made it through. I did get a lot of work done. We were trying to boost morale of all of our students and still continue to keep up our admissions and fundraising efforts, which was all kind of tossed into the air on people unsure of what it would look like as we continued to navigate COVID. We did put together some different dress-up days and some fun ways to raise spirits through social media. I know at this point, social media was a way we were trying to use to connect and reach out to our community and keep us together. And I definitely had a lot more FaceTimes and virtual calls going on as so many people became fast learners and experts at navigating the virtual world. Unfortunately, my apartment was having difficulties throughout the year. My fridge went out, my drain backed up, and that wasn't very fun to have to navigate either. My car's battery died and I had to fix that, so navigating, adult things that happen all within this wasn't a joy of 2020. My birthday is the first week of April and I celebrated alone. I really wasn't sure what this COVID thing was yet and didn't think I should be traveling, and so I did have a great birthday. I made myself some cupcakes. My friends put together a really special virtual birthday card making, and I received dozens of birthday cards in the mail, and we had a fun Zoom call where we got to catch up. So it still was a special birthday, but different. I also had to cancel my trip to go visit my college roommate Katie in North Carolina where she was doing her internship. So that was kind of a bummer too, but travels were put on hold. So April was kind of more of the same. I mean, I was busy at work. I sometimes wouldn't leave my apartment for days at a time. Again, not good, but I did have some fun kind of cooking extra things for myself. I made steak and salads and lasagna and different things. There were definitely highlights within it. I watched a lot more Netflix, dived into some Korean dramas. I watched the documentary Cheer, which, again, I will forever be sad that cheerleading was not offered anywhere around me. It's not a popular sport here in central Minnesota. I think that it would have been right up my alley should I have been able to ever do it growing up. Alas, I'm too old these days, but it's a good documentary. I also enjoyed Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist and caught up on Grey's. I actually started it over from the beginning and then got all the way caught up. So lots of Netflix. There's many more that I think I missed in there. More recent ones being The Queen's Gambit. It has ignited in me a need to be better at chess so I can maybe at least be somewhat competitive with my brother. I finally did go home for Easter and I had a great time with my family. It was just my immediate family, which was very different, and being that we were very involved in our church, usually playing our trumpets on Easter morning and singing duets throughout Holy Week, none of that happened this year. Throughout COVID, I attended church virtually, though I admit it did offer me the chance to worship with my home congregation, even though I wasn't living in that city because they had moved their services online. So that was a highlight, working from home with my family, playing lots of games. We had a big Catan battle going on, though I unfortunately haven't been winning much. One very exciting thing that happened in May, however, was that my sister graduated from college. This was a huge feat and we really wanted to celebrate her. The college did not have an in-person commencement. It was a virtual ceremony. And so my mom and I took it upon ourselves to make something special, and we printed out our own program and list of events. invited family to join us via Zoom, and we reenacted the whole walking across the stage out on our patio. We played Pomp and Circumstance. We had a very formal looking program that I designed to match the actual program that they use, and it was altogether a really fun time. Also throughout May, it was a big time at work as our annual Day of Giving was coming up, and we had to really put on our thinking caps of how we were going to make it work this year, being as that we were not in person and not sure how our community would respond amidst these very challenging times. So my boss and I in marketing wanted to put together a video to help spur people to action and raise spirits. So it was a project that I was given and had a really fun time with. We created our own version of We're All in This Together and had our own music and lyrics. I choreographed different sections to try to get different grades and students and alumni and parents all involved, and it was a huge success. So we're feeling very good about work as of May. And then June came, and with it some very tumultuous times. I think my biggest takeaway from June, with racial tension and the killing of George Floyd and the national reaction that occurred because of this, was that people need to treat everyone with respect and with love, and know that there's a lot going on in people's lives. It was also this time that the realization that social media can be a really toxic place, at least for me at the time. I had to kind of back off, and I really rededicated myself to in-person relationships, because I don't think you can really try to influence or make a difference unless you have a real connection with someone, and that comes through much more than someone's posts and life on a screen. It was also at this time that my boss quit at work, and so it kind of left us in a flurry of somewhat chaos. The summer was not a super relaxing time at work, as there was a lot to be done. I did try to take a little bit of a break, use my vacation, and spend time with family at the cabin, and that was a much needed reprieve. Playing games, being with family, sunshine. It was a great summer at the cabin. Also in July, I moved into a new apartment with my sister. She had decided that the next step in her life, she wanted to become a nurse, and so entered a advanced nursing program to get her degree in a year and a half, and started at a school close to where I work. So we moved in together, which was a great situation for both of us to, cut down on rent costs, and also have someone during these challenging times to support and confide in. One of my best friends and college roommates ended up taking a job in Hawaii, and she left, and so we had one last hurrah together, and I had to say goodbye. But we've kept in contact throughout the year via video chatting and texting and all the technology that is available to us. And so it's been very fun as we both go about our adult lives and keeping those connections and that relationship strong. September came before we knew it, and we're back to school and working at a school. It was a very different year. We had a lot of COVID protocols that we put in place, but we are fortunate enough to be able to come back in a hybrid model with the majority in person. Wear masks to work every day. What was tricky is the scheduling, as trying to share on social media about different student events and activities and fun things going on. There's just significantly less, and that has made my job a little bit more difficult. We've been trying to do a lot more video, which has been fun, but also challenging to try to coordinate everything. My new boss started on the first day of school, and it's been fun getting to know her over the past 4 months. Really training her in, I didn't realize how much I know until I had to teach it, and I really have grown so much in my job and my confidence in my abilities throughout the year, as I've taken on a lot more responsibilities, and I'm just more sure of myself in some aspects, being able to find solutions and persevere. Highlight of October was Halloween. I am a big fan of holidays and wanted to do something fun. I had been able to, in my small little bubble, I only really go to work and hang out with my sister, and I was also in a prayer group with my college roommate. So for Halloween, we decided we want to reenact Clue, and I was Colonel Mustard because I had some fun pants I wanted to wear. My sister was Scarlet, and we did the whole shebang with all the characters. We played Clue and had a fun photo shoot, and it really was a highlight in the midst of all these difficulties of the year. I did get into a minor fender bender this year, which took out the Stratus. RIP. That car has been with our family since before my oldest sister was even born. We will miss it forever. I love me the Stratus. As the fall continued, work got better and better. Students had adjusted to the new ways of conducting the day with social distancing. A highlight for me has been connecting with coworkers and with students when I've had the chance through some videos that we've definitely amped up, because that's the best way to communicate with people for sure. And so one of these videos that I just recently finished was the annual Christmas video, and we did it to 12 Days of Christmas. And I'm really proud of this because I saw it through from start to finish, and I really pushed myself in my video editing skills and taught myself some new tricks, and I'm super proud of the final product. Being creative is important to me and really does help me look forward to going to work. And so that brings me through the whole year. The last couple weeks, I have been pounding the reading because I wanted to meet my reading challenge again this year. So an update, I did read more than 20 books. I started the year with a subconscious goal of trying to read some more classics and to clear off some of my old TBR books on my shelf. And so I read Pride and Prejudice, which took a while. It was a slow read, but I really enjoyed it and happy to have said that it is in my repertoire. I've also read The Da Vinci Code, which was quite a popular book quite a few years ago, maybe even a decade ago. I finished the Scythe series, and I was in a book club, though we've only read one book, and we read Where the Crawdads Sing. It's not one I usually would pick up on my own, but was pleasantly surprised. A very unique book with beautiful prose and a captivating story. So maybe you'd like to check that out. I decided to wrap up my year by rereading, I should say, Harry Potter, because I have been wanting to for the past, I think, like 6 years and haven't. Really, they are such a warm hug of a series, and what better way to wrap up 2020 with a little bit of comfort. And so I have been enjoying that reread very much. I also read The Hobbit because I have said it for a while now, I can't really call myself a lover of fantasy books if I haven't read Tolkien. So I read The Hobbit, and my goal for 2021 is to read The Lord of the Rings and some other fantasy books, like perhaps Wheel of Time, though I'm not sure I can commit myself to that quite yet because that's a lot of books. So altogether, it has been a good reading year. I flew through some lighthearted contemporaries this summer, and reading is always a nice escape. So of course I watched last year's video before filming this one, and shaking my head now, but of course at the end I said, oh, it should be interesting to see where I am this time next year. Probably won't have as much change. I mean, I'm not sure it has had as much change, but if last year was a year of unknown, This year has been a year of challenges slash rethinking, and it's really affected everyone. Ultimately, it's been a good year. I've had a lot of great family time. I've strengthened connections with friends, but there's no doubt it's been tough. And in comparison with the last couple of years I've had, it really hasn't been my best year. All I know is that a year of challenges has really allowed me to see strength in myself and in other people. And so I am thankful for how I've grown throughout 2020, and I'm looking forward to 2021. In 2021, I'm hoping that this pandemic will fizzle and that travel can open back up, as I'd love to go and visit Hawaii and my friend. Of topmost priority is always to continue to strengthen my relationships with my family and with my friends. But I think my big goal of 2021 is to continue to stay outside of my comfort zone, at least every once in a while, to push myself and to be open to where God is directing me on this crazy journey of life. So I'm wishing that you have a wonderful 2021 until next time. I am hoping to... What am I hoping for?